Hi, how are you doing,
We
Eric?
good. We made it.
Yes, we did. We finally got the kinks out.
Yeah, absolutely. Can
Yeah.
you tilt it down a little bit more so I can see your face?
Yep. Oh, hold
Oh, the
on.
other way around.
Yeah. No.
Down, not up.
Down.
There we go. There you
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
I like seeing all
Hi.
your face, not just your
Yes.
eyes and forehead. You know,
I
it's a
know.
nice face. We should see it all. All right. So for anyone who doesn't know, you started the Zack's bracelets for swimming lessons, right?
Yes, I did.
and and you've raised enough money to donate so far 1,000 lessons and counting, right?
Yes, 1,000 lessons and counting. And when I hear 1,000 lessons and counting, it gives me chills. Like I got goosebumps. Um, yeah, no words. It really, I thought on this mission, even if I sent 5 children to swimming lessons, that would be fine for me.
Right.
But 1,000 and counting is, again, no words. Water safety is extremely important, all around the world. And to send 1,000 kids and counting for swimming lessons in our little town of Wasaga Beach, in Canada is amazing. Amazing.
It is amazing. So can you tell us about Zach and his story?
Yes. So Zach, it was a Wednesday, July 18th, 2012. Zach wandered down to the mouth of our Nottawasaga River here in Wasaga Beach, Canada, with two of his sister's friends. And if you've ever been down to Wasaga Beach, what I can explain to it is when you go down to our beach, you can kind of walk out like 500 feet and it's up to your knees. Like that nice, beautiful water where again, it never really gets deep. So that day, recently, being moved here, we only had lived here for about 6 months, our first summer up here as a family. When Zach had wandered down that particular Wednesday, it was a really, really hot day too. I remember that day I was in the city with my grandfather, and it was a hot, hot day. Um, Kind of walked down there with his sister's two friends, and it appeared to be kind of like Beach One, where you again, if people know coming down here, you walk out again for 500 feet, it's up to your knees. Very calm. The water's not moving at all. And they thought they would just kind of jump in and cool off, and parents wouldn't know any better, right? So what happened that day was the my daughter's two friends jumped in first. Zach followed through, jumped into the water. They maybe walked about 5, 6 feet into the water, and then they hit that drop off. Which here in Canada, and not even Canada, in the States too, I never knew what an undertow was. So an undertow is because he was in the mouth of the Nottawasaga River, it's the river leading into the bay. So you got that current of the river pushing into, the big open bay, it's a large body of water. So what happened was it's kind of like I explained to parents, he got caught into when you pull the plug in the bathtub, and that little circle, motion going down, kind of got thrown off to the side. He literally went in 5 feet. His friends walked out, and that was the last they ever saw of Zach, and we ever saw Zach. He kind of went in, went under, and never surfaced until search and rescue came because, again, he got caught in that undertow. Just again, it kind of like sucked him down and pushed him over and pushed him this way and pushed him that way. And because he didn't know how to swim, as a result of when Zach was a year and a half, we had him in daycare with his sister. And Zach had fallen into a pool, just in a pool in a condominium. Had the fence up, and the daycare lady was out there. But what happened was Zach fell in the pool at a year and a half in the pool, and the not the paramedics, but the lifeguard was there, came over, pulled him out. He was fine, but that scared him to beyond belief. Um, we kind of got the call at the end of the day because Zach was fine, but the daycare worker had told me that he had fallen in the pool. We brought him home. I gave him a bath that night, and I remember when it came to the time to put his head back to wash his hair. As soon as his head back and head went back in the water, he was like freaking out, crying. You know, he didn't want the water on his face or his hair. As a mom, again, knowing what had happened earlier on that day, I thought, okay, this is more than just what the daycare worker had said, because what had happened to him really, 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 at a year and a half, really traumatized him to the point that he didn't want water on his hair or on his face. Yeah, so then, then at that point, I tried to put him in swimming lessons after that. And what happened was every time I put him in swimming lessons, as soon as his head would go under the water, his panic would, he'd be in his face. He would call for mom. I'd pull him out, go back the next day and try a little bit more. Um, I was the mom that pulled him out. I pulled him out because of that experience and seeing, as a mom, when you see your kid in the water and, you're doing the best thing for them, trying to, give them this life-saving skill. But when they're kind of scared, you kind of, as a mom, you want to pull them out, which I did, which didn't really help me out when that day when he did, drowned at the mouth of the river, not having any skills, no swimming lessons. So basically and again, it is still a very hard time to think about. Um, you know,
How old was he in 2012?
9 years old,
Okay.
9, yeah, forever 9, yeah. And he was quite a character. What makes me laugh too to this day is that he was such like forever 9. He was such an old soul. You know that term, like the old soul. He would rather talk to like older people that were 60, 70 years old, sitting and talking with them than kids his own age. He loves stories. He used to watch Antique Roadshow and like auction stuff and stuff like that on TV instead of like cartoons or typical stuff that a 9-year-old would watch. He would always watch like again Antique Roadshow. Quite an old soul, little funny guy, and as a mom, so what I also I noticed too is that when he had that near drowning experience at daycare at a year and a half, and then as a mom I put him in swimming lessons then because I was a young mom. I was only 23 when Zach was born. Not knowing the age of swimming lessons to put your child in because nobody really tells you that, right? You have
Right.
your baby, you go to the doctor, you get your immunizations and the shots, and they kind of send you home and do that stuff, but they don't really tell you at the doctors when you're supposed to get your child in swimming lessons. And, after he drowned that day, as a mom, not being able to sleep at night, I started making bracelets just out of GIMP. I think a lot of people maybe can relate in camp. You probably went to camp and you learned to make those GIMP bracelets.
Okay.
I'm almost 40, so a lot of us, used to make those at camp. I kind of made those at night to kind of keep my mind occupied because I couldn't sleep. So I just made them with no purpose in mind. Kept making them until I got to the point where, I got tired and couldn't make anymore. I was sometimes I was wrapped in GIMP, falling asleep because I'd have so much on my bed. But after about maybe 5, 6 months that after Zach drowned, I had so many bracelets, beautiful bracelets. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do with them? So I started handing them out to little kids that I would see, give them a couple and here and there. And I thought, what a great idea to maybe to sell the bracelets for $4 and use all the proceeds to donate back to our local YMCA here in Wasaga Beach for swimming lessons. And the thought at first was kind of like, again, a healing part for my heart to, again, carry on Zach's, legacy. And it kind of took off from there. I started selling them and, people wanted them. I think for me as a mom, I thought, wow, people actually want them. They like them, that makes me feel good. And when I got to 7 bracelets, I remember it was the first year after Zack had drowned. I only had sold enough to send 7 kids to swimming lessons. And that 7 kids melted my heart. I cried. But it made my heart feel good because I thought, our son is one life that drowned, one life. And at that point, he had saved 7 lives. Maybe learning that life-saving skill of swimming lessons, right? So, you can't really kind of stop there, you
So,
know?
how do so you raise money through the bracelets? Is that the
Yes.
your main sponsorship method?
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
someone want, so if somebody wanted to buy one, how do they buy one?
So in Wasaga Beach, you can buy them a lot in Wasaga Beach, a lot of our local stores, restaurants. in Wasaga Beach. But if you're not in Wasaga Beach and you're in the States or anywhere, you can contact me on Zach's page, send me a message, and I will mail them out to you.
Okay.
Also, too, what I do too is I send them out for free to, say, for example, it's at the end of the year, and your kid has so many kids in their class, maybe 32. I'll mail you out 32 bracelets for that class, so the kids can hand out the bracelets with the card as a life-saving message, before the summer starts, free of charge. I don't ask for any money, because again, all those kids in that class will, receive that bracelet, a little card. They can go on the page and see all the stuff that I post about water safety, your stuff. I share all your stuff all the time.
Thank you.
Oh, I love, yeah, really all your stuff too that you post too. Um, I've got a lot of messages too, because again, you're in the States, we're in Canada, so I wouldn't say it's a little bit different, but I think too when it comes to water safety, we are kind of a little bit different over here, where fences are very important over where you are, where we're kind of getting on board now with
Right.
putting, a fence around our pool, where it's not really hasn't been a big thing over here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's colder, you don't have the climate, so it makes sense, right?
We get 4 months if we're lucky. Yeah, 4 months out of the whole year that, now I got a tan, but I'm usually, yeah, you get 4 months over where I am. Yeah. So you guys definitely have, you know, obviously more of a need,
Sure,
but we need,
absolutely.
we need that here too.
For
In
sure.
even in the summer,
And there's
even
a
if
lot of
it is
pools.
4 months.
There's a lot of
Oh,
pools in Canada. Yeah.
lots of pools too, and seeing Paul's post in where he does it in Florida, in a lot of places there, is that we have a river here, so hence our son drowned in the river. That we have a lot of properties that are on the river that can block off that, you know, their access to the river with a fence, which I've seen a lot of postings on your post, which was saying people over here, we got to check out these fences for our river here in Wasaga Beach, because that would save a lot of children from accidents happen.
Sure,
Kids are
absolutely.
curious, right?
And by the way, Paul says hi to you. I don't know if you can see it, a
Hi.
little comment there. He said Paul
No,
says
I
hi.
can't. Yeah, for some reason I'm
Yeah.
here. Love
And
love Paul.
I don't know if you know Stephanie Marie Robertson, but she says hi too.
Hi Stephanie.
She started Nathan's Water Wings, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
oh, okay. I
Yeah.
love it. I share everything, because our
So,
voice has to be heard.
it does, and I don't think enough people pay attention to water safety. Which is kind of why we do this. Um, and
Exactly.
we try to talk about child safety in general because I think the whole topic kind of gets not enough attention, right? You know,
Absolutely. You said it right there. It doesn't get enough attention, right? I
yeah,
think the attention that unfortunately a lot of people get when they haven't had a childhood drowning is what we hear on the news or
yeah,
a posting on Facebook. And we don't want to have it always be that. Is why Paul and all of us do what we do, is that we want to prevent those tragedies from happening
right,
before they do, because they are most of the times 100% preventable, right?
absolutely, yeah.
You know.
I want there to be a stop, drop, and roll for water
Oh,
safety.
I love that. Again, because
We all know that, right?
we learned that in school, right?
Right, absolutely. But not that many people get caught on fire, right? That's kind of a rare thing. But lots of
Exactly.
kids drown. So, I think that there,
Absolutely.
and there's been some attempts, right? We've got the Safer 3, which is great. Safer pools, safer kids,
Yes.
safer water. We've got the Simple Steps Save Lives from the poolsafely.gov.
Yeah.
We know about layers of protection.
Yes.
But I don't think anything's really caught on like Click It or
No.
Ticket or Simple Step Save or no, since Stop, Drop, and Roll, you know, or
Yeah.
uh, or look both ways before crossing the street, right?
Exactly.
You know,
And I'm sure Paul, if Paul's watching,
yeah,
as those parents that have lost children to drowning, due in any circumstance, whether it's a pool, a lake, a river, a pond, a bathtub, is that we are now standing to let all parents know what is out there, what are the dangers of drowning, because again, we want parents to be aware of all aspects, Again, the pool around the fence. And I say to people too, it's not just the pool around the fence around your pool. You have to make sure the kids can't get into that pool with the
Right.
fence, like crawl underneath or, I posted a video on Zach's page just last week where somebody had done what they thought was the best thing. They had a pool. They put the ladder up, but they had a lock over the ladder. The little kids still climbed, and they taped it. Thank God they did tape it to show
I
all
saw
of
that
us that
video.
are around. Yeah, you saw it, right? Oh my God. And I'm thinking too, like our son, like Zach, he was a monkey crawler. Like he would crawl everywhere. Kids can crawl things. Again, we're adults. We know what happens if dangers were to take place in water where children are got like water. Water's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like mommy, daddy takes me to the pool or takes me to the lake or again, even the bathtub's fun, right? So kids they don't know drowning, right? So we have to protect those layers for them, right?
Yeah, I saw that video and I saw another one recently that a family
The life
posted. It was
jacket.
no, it was yeah, life jackets are good. It was security footage on an above ground pool,
Oh,
and
and
the and the two kids went in, and
yes,
the one baby got out thankfully and went and got mom, and mom rescued a kid, and thankfully everybody's okay.
yes.
But I'm hoping that we can donate a pool fence to them.
You know what? I saw that. I shared that also on Zach's wall too. And the footage too is, very rare. But the fact that they
Yeah,
actually had the footage and it was a good ending, not a bad ending. This is something we can share with the world. I posted it and I said, please share with your friends because you never know if that friend you share with is going to save their child's life, right?
right. Absolutely.
Because again, there's a saying, I hope I say it right, that we never think drowning is going to happen to us until it does. Like we read stories, I'm that mom, it's not going to
Right.
happen to me. Wouldn't happen to me.
No, I'm
Why
a good
would it?
mom. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched my kid.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it happens, it does happen. And what you guys too are doing, no words. I share everything that guys post on your page to share on Zach's page too, because I want people to be aware too of stuff that maybe I'm not seeing on my wall, but I see on
Sure.
your page. Again, because that one share again, if it saves one life, it's done its job. That
Totally
post,
worth it. Absolutely. So,
absolutely.
um, unfortunately, I have an appointment. So, real quick, if there's something you could tell parents to keep their kids safe around the water, what would you tell them?
A lot of things. I would say that if your child is just born and is new baby, get them in swimming lessons between the ages of 3 to 6 months old. If you have a pool in your backyard, please make sure you have a fence around your pool to not only for your children but neighbors' children as well to get into your pool. If you have them in the bathtub, don't walk away, not for a second. That is not worth it. Whether they're getting out wet, I'd rather my kids get out wet than the end result.
Right.
When you're taking them to the lake, beach, pool, pond, anything, make sure you never take your eyes off your children. Make sure there's a water watcher. A lot of the times there's drownings in, when you go to a pool party and you have a lot of friends, there's a lot of kids running around. Make sure you have a water watcher for the children. Don't take your eyes off of them for a second. Because again, drowning just take seconds. And it's silent. It's a silent killer.
Absolutely.
And
And
Zach's bracelets. If you do need help
yes,
with swimming lessons, I live in Canada, but it doesn't matter where you live. Please send me a message on Zach's Bracelets for Swimming Lessons on Facebook, and I will try to find you a sponsor, somebody in your location that will sponsor you for swimming lessons for your child. That's what I do.
awesome. That is super cool.
Thank you so much for the
Thank you,
opportunity.
Melissa. I really, really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
it. And we'll do this again soon.
Yes.
Actually, real quick, Sherry Dawn Sheffield wants to know, she's been looking for drowning stats in Canada. Do you know anywhere she can go?
Tell her to send me a PM,
Okay.
and I will. Yeah.
All right. Hear that,
Try to
Sherry?
find somebody for her.
Message Melissa and she'll
Yeah.
hunt it down for you. All right. Thanks,
Thank you,
Melissa.
Eric.
You're
Have a
awesome. I
great
really
day.
appreciate it.
Send me your
Thanks.
weather. Send me your weather.
I will. It's like 80 degrees here. It's fantastic.
We're gonna switch in the wintertime. I'm gonna go there. You're gonna come here.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Much love. Thank you.
Bye,
Water
Melissa.
safety all the way. Bye.
Woo!